ahead and get this party going.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to our special holiday edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, December 23rd, 2025. Only two more shopping days till Christmas. I'm in the spirit. I know my boys are in the spirit here. Of course, my name is Tim McClelland, and I'm America's favorite armchair football fan. Of course, over here is the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, and as of course John Flynn. Of course, you can listen to his podcast. You can watch him on his YouTube channel, as you probably are right now. So, Mr. Flynn, how are you, sir?
How you doing, everybody? And early Merry Christmas to all of you.
Oh, definitely. Let me check out what you're wearing there, Flynn.
So I have I'm dreaming of a Right Christmas sweater that I got 10 years ago.
Oh, so that's probably your Mets shirt right there.
Yeah. I mean that's you're the only of that design I have, but
aha. And of course, we have our league commissioner, and he's looking pretty spiffy in his sweater himself, Mr. John Natale.
Yeah, doing pretty well here, and yeah, definitely happy to be here. Happy to hear that it's championship week, and I can guarantee that this season we're going to have a new champ in the house, and one of the potential candidates is just off to my left over here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. And I think someone is waiting to come in. I think I noticed that he.
It's Pizzle!
There he is. You see, folks, this is not exactly a crossover show as you would think it is, because these two guys are here. You see, the reason is we're going into our league championship week, and the two contenders for this year's championship just happen to be my boys from the Pain and Game Pick'em Show. First of all, the man who bleeds black and gold, the man who represents the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Lucas LC Muscles 28.
What's up, everybody? LC Muscles 20 here, back in with another championship appearance. This is 3 in a row, and I'm looking to win my second title in 3 years. And yeah, I put up a beatdown, even though my quarterback didn't do well. I put a beatdown last week, and I'm looking to get back on that podium as a champion and not finish running up like I did last year.
And of course, as you people can see on the screen here, as you're about to see, Lucas's opponent for this year's championship game is none other than our fellow cohort on the Pain and Game Pick'em Show, representing the aqua and orange of the Miami Dolphins. And I should give him the proper introduction. Football freaks, gridiron geeks, have no fear, because
Hey, Pizzle is here in the flesh, baby. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Lucas, I cannot wait to go up against you this week in the championship, but you're going down.
Well, Alex, we got something a little interesting going on for this championship, because I actually have a bet proposal.
Oh, no.
A bet proposal on live.
But this is not one of the ones we're going to do something silly. We're not going to do any singing or caroling or whatever.
Have to sing a Christmas song tomorrow.
No, we don't have to do that. But this is going to be for a little cha-ching.
Oh, you want some moolah?
Yes. So the winner of this championship will get $25. That is my proposal. $25 prize.
Make it 50.
Ooh.
All right, 50 it is. Let's do it.
Each of you put in
$50.
25.
Let's go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard it right now. We have a $50 bet on the league championship between Lucas and Alex.
Oh
And-
boy, I can't
and
wait.
all of you, and I have Flynn, I have Natale, myself, and all of you watching out there. Y'all are my witnesses. You are
Yes,
all
sir.
So,
Let's go.
I can't wait, man. This is gonna be fun.
well, right now, let's take a review of how we got to this point, starting with last week and when Lucas went up against our man Andrew. He got himself a score of 184.58, taking down Andrew with his score of 116.88. And Lucas, I'd say you did pretty good over on your side of the board there.
I wouldn't have won it if it wasn't for Puka Nacua Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
What a wonderful phrase. James Cook.
Yeah, he's cooking.
He's cooking. Part of the best running offense in the league.
Isn't it amazing that when James Cook gets the ball 15, 20 times a game, runs for 100 yards, the Bills win? Isn't it amazing that concept?
That's why they're the best running offense in the league.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. And also, a breakout candidate who, despite in the loss, had a really solid game at RJ Harvey, who has been one of the best rookies I've drafted this year, man.
Yeah, I mean, he is a top 20 back this year. He had seven carries for 50 yards and a touchdown, plus 71 yards receiving. I mean, part of it had to do with how the game script was, because nobody thought the Broncos would be down by double digits most of the game. So
I didn't expect it either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean, Tim, Natale, it goes back to what I was talking about during the summer, that RJ Harvey, a potential sleeper candidate this year, and we're seeing why helping out someone like Lucas get to the championship round.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it felt like a Sean Payton special when he drafted him, and now we're seeing the fruits of what I believed in. I could have been more proactive in drafting RJ Harvey, but nonetheless, yeah, he was eventually when he became the lead back in Denver, that's when things began to blossom for him, and that's why Denver could be in the conversation to go to the Super Bowl, despite the loss.
And finally, the last back to really help me out was Sonic from the iconic duo Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
Sonic.
But there's a thing, though. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a post by David Montgomery on his Instagram, and it seemed like the duo could be breaking apart due to one player retiring at the end of this year.
Yeah, that means Jahmyr Gibbs will be no worse than RB2 on draft boards next year.
Right.
Oh, he's gonna be a top player next year.
Yeah,
no matter what.
You're thinking Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs to draw a line after that on the running back tiers list.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's take a look at who Lucas had on the bench here and how what.
I know I left a few.
Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence with that huge day against Denver, 31.16. Ouch.
Why I picked Stroud over Lawrence was Stroud was going against one of the worst defenses in the league in the Raiders, while the Broncos had was pretty much the top defense in the league going against Jacksonville, and no one expected Jacksonville to look as good as they did. Let's be honest here. I don't think anyone expected Jacksonville to go into Denver and just dominate.
I did.
Yeah, you were right.
That was my upset pick of the week.
That was your upset pick.
It was. Wow. So obviously Alex knew something we didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you started Trevor Lawrence over C.J. Stroud, if you went against the conventional wisdom, you would have wound up with over 200 points for the week.
I would have. I still won by over 70, but still.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to hit 200 in a playoff game. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll
and I mean, and then for Andrew, it didn't help that Trey McBride laid an egg. Deebo Samuel laid an egg. Travion Henderson only got 2.2 points.
Travion Henderson got injured.
Yes.
But
yes, he did.
also
yes, he
Deebo got the problem with Deebo was he also had Josh Johnson in the entire second half.
Right.
Right.
Right. So it's
like, we could do that.
I mean, I don't regret grabbing the 7 points with the Commanders because I'm thinking Marcus Mariota we give him a chance, but then once he left, I knew that pick was fried. So yeah, so with that, you are in the championship round, and let's take a look at how Alex knocked me out of the playoffs, despite only getting 1.4 points for Gardner Minshew, who, like his starter Patrick Mahomes, also tore his ACL. 1.4 points, but he rode nearly 30 points from Bijan, and everyone else either met or slightly exceeded their expectations. Mike Evans caught a touchdown in the first quarter against Carolina in the loss. Jalen Waddle 13, Brock Bowers 14. So Kyle Pitts suddenly turns into the player we all thought he was going to be after the Falcons get bounced from the playoffs. I mean, you can't make this stuff up if you're a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. And then the Texans defense, that was an easy matchup. But then on my side, I couldn't get much either from Lamar Jackson because he got hurt too.
Lamar got hurt.
Yeah, I know, and I got 33 points from Christian McCaffrey. That he would have been a playoffs MVP, but it didn't matter to me because the rest of my team stunk. And Wan'Dale Robinson 5, Nico Collins only didn't even crack 10 points in PPR. Tyler Warren laid an egg as well. I mean, and the Seahawks defense.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, in my other league, I faced the Seahawks defense, and the scoring and Natale scoring in this league with defense is far more lenient than the standard. But in the standard league setting, the Seahawks defense had -4. So.
Yeah, I'm very fair. I don't believe in negative points unless the defense does something incredibly stupid.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I felt the writing was on the wall though when I benched Kenneth Walker III instead of Kyle Williams, and I'm actually an idiot for doing that because with Blake Corum eating into Kyle Williams's touch count, I should have known that, and if I figured out the logic there, I would have had a better result, but it would not have made a difference anyway because both of my because Lamar Jackson got hurt. So
Ooh, no, the other conundrum, Flynn. Remember our trade?
Yeah, that I mean that I completely whiffed on that.
I crunched the numbers. Yeah, pretending our trade never happened. You know what the differential would have been for you?
It would have been at least 20 points. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, yeah, I did the math. You still would have lost, but by 0.7 of a point.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
So hypothetical, if our trade never happened, and you started Kenneth Walker over what's his name, Kyron Williams, you would have won.
Oh my God.
That's insane to think about.
I mean, it was a complete disaster for both sides because I mean, Natale needed to win to beat Casey to make the playoffs, and Olave was projected at 15 for his Week 14 matchup. He only got 6, so it was a 9-point difference, and Natale lost by 4 points there. And then for me, I was thinking, great. Wan'Dale Robinson's got favorable matchups. The rest of the way, I feel good. My roster is perfectly positioned for the playoffs, then Andrew Thomas gets hurt, and the offensive line can't protect Jackson Dart. So
Yeah, pretty much both of our trades were washes.
The last one was a terrible trade by both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much the first one too, for that matter. The first one was a wash because eventually you traded Jalen Warren again, and then I ended up dropping Jordan Addison.
And Jalen Warren too. He went off against
Jalen Warren had an insane game.
Yeah, he did.
So both of the trades I made at the deadline were complete disasters, and it backfired in my face this week. I mean,
but Alex left 30 points on the bench though with Stafford.
Yeah, that was probably my biggest mistake.
And my stupidity let you off the hook for that.
No, that was probably my biggest mistake because I trusted Gardner Minshew because he's one of my favorite players. I think he could have easily stepped in for Patrick Mahomes, but he didn't, and he didn't tear his ACL.
Well, the problem was, as crazy as he still played despite being injured. He still played. I think he played like 12 plays before he couldn't take the pain anymore.
Right.
That's just insane.
But yeah, I'm probably going to start Stafford this week.
Oh yeah, you gotta play against the Falcons. You gotta play him this week.
Yes. Well, yeah, we won't know our winner until the end of the round. Monday. Both of you guys have Rams players.
Yes, we do.
Putnam has Bijan Robinson too. Alongside, he's got Bijan, Pitts, and Stafford in that Monday night game, as you can see on the screen to your right. While
it's gonna come down Monday night. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When Bijan Robinson and Puka Nacua are playing, a lot of leagues are gonna have their league winners decided with that Monday night game, and both Bijan Robinson and Puka Nacua are in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So let's break this down. So look at this also. For each of the positions, five check marks next to each side. So it's going to be an evenly matched matchup. So
I'm only favored by 3.6 points.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, the biggest advantage is that you have Nacua while Putnam's got Jalen Waddle and Mike Evans, whose teams are going to be facing off against one another on Sunday.
And Brock Bowers.
Yeah, the Giants can't cover tight ends if their life depended on it. So,
right.
My boy Jalen Waddle.
So is there anyone on their benches that they could probably plug in? Let's take a look here.
I can't play Metcalf.
Tim, I got a question. Is Javonte Williams going to be playing?
I have not heard anything. I've not heard anything about Williams being out or injured or anything. So I guess he should be good to go on Christmas Day.
He's questionable from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my thing is I'm getting another defense. I'm going to try and get another defense to help me out this week. Stroud's definitely going on the bench.
Well, you have the 49ers on your bench.
I do not like the matchup against Chicago, though. I think that's going to be a dogfight.
And Philly against the Bills against the Eagles.
I'm going to be changing out the Bills against the Eagles. I'm changing that out. I'm going to be picking up a defense.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that. I think that's going to be like a hot slugfest game.
Oh, it's easily going to be. I'm looking at probably the Jaguars defense or probably the Lions defense to pick up. Or maybe, actually, no, I'm not picking up the Giants. I'm looking at the Lions defense more than likely to pick up this week. Well, the thing is, here's the thing, though. How are the Raiders? How bad are the Raiders? Like, that's the ultimate tank bowl. Like, we got to get a soundbite for ultimate tank bowl. Ultimate hell no game of the week. Ultimate hell, like, be like, ultimate hell no game of the week.
We got to figure out something, you know. I think we should.
You should. You guys should have that on Pain and Games tomorrow night. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going to.
The thing about the Giants' defense as an option is the Giants have had historically bad run defense, and
yeah, that's true.
And Geno Smith is back, and the Raiders' running back is none other than Ashton Genty.
Of course. So I'm probably thinking about the Lions because realistically, like the Vikings are going to be playing Max Brosmer. That's a recipe for disaster.
Who?
And Justin Jefferson, I think he's already having a lot of problems. He's like, get me an actual quarterback. Get me an actual quarterback. You can see on the sidelines, he's frustrated. He is absolutely frustrated on the sidelines. You could tell. Like 9 is not going to cut it. Dude, they're saying that JJ McCarthy has worse efficiency rating than Jamarcus Russell.
Oh God.
That's saying something.
I mean, the thing about McCarthy is, he can make some ridiculous throws, but he is so inconsistent. He is inconsistent. I was dead wrong on the Minnesota Vikings this season. I mean, the Vikings were my pick to win the division in the competitive NFC North, but then McCarthy goes down, and then it was a hodgepodge of futility with the Vikings from the QB position from that point on. So,
right.
So it's going to be very interesting here.
Neck and neck.
Definitely best of luck to both of you.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, but of course, it's been made more interesting because there will be $50 at stake in this one.
And also that we also split the regular season as well. Alex won in week 11. I won in week 2. And also think about it this way: you have a little bit of history. I've been in the championship contending spot for the past 3 years, while Alex. He was one of the worst. He was the worst team in the first year of this
That's
one.
right.
Then the second year, he was also one of the worst teams, and he topped the top pick with Bijan Robinson. So who knows? Maybe next year, David could be who if he has the number 1 pick next year, or Tiny Tim, who has a top pick next year, could impact things. We don't know. But Alex, though, it's great to see you in the championship after being in the bottom. The past couple of years, it's great to see you up top now, fighting for the championship.
If David gets the number 1 overall pick, let's be honest, he's going to take Drake May because he's a homer.
Yeah, that's true.
He is.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to take Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save my thought about the Patriots, though. I'll save my thoughts on them for tomorrow.
Yeah,
because I got something spicy to say about them.
Because
I was not happy when they won.
And after this is over, I'm going to plan on doing something I never done before. I'll do a congratulatory speech for the winner.
Oh,
I can't wait for that.
I'll prepare a little speech.
Okay.
And it's weird. I'm rooting for both of you for different reasons. Like one reason why I'm rooting. Well, Alex missed the part in the beginning, but the one way I'm rooting for Alex is so that way I can maintain the only. I can remain the only person to win a fantasy championship with a winning record. Because Lucas was 7-7 twice. Andrew was 6-8, and I also want to root for Lucas so that I can have the glory of being the only person to beat him in the championship.
Oh,
that's what Giants fans had until Big Dick Nick Foles beat the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Because for the longest time, the idea was Eli was the only quarterback that beat Brady in the Super Bowl, and he did it twice. That Kurt Warner lost to him, Jake Delhomme, Donovan McNabb, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, and then Nick Foles.
Patrick Mahomes also lost to him. Don't forget, Patrick Mahomes lost to him.
Yeah, and also that AFC Championship game in 2018. If it wasn't for D Ford being offsides on a 4th down in the AFC Championship game,
I couldn't believe that.
And then Jared Goff only scored 3 points against Brady's defense in what was a 3-3 game with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter of that Super Bowl. So
that's right.
Yeah, but we do have a couple of hot topics we wanted to discuss before we set the two you and Alex and Lucas, the two of you, off for the night in preparation for your show tomorrow night. But really, I think a big fantasy story going into this championship week is is the suspension that was upheld this evening by it was upheld of DK Metcalf. He was suspended 2 games for an incident with an interaction with the fan during the Steelers' 29-24 victory over the Lions on Sunday night. So
$45 million.
Yeah. I mean, and a clause in his contract kicks in that if he's suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, that guarantee is void. So so we need 2 angles on this. One, what does that mean for the Steelers? And I would think that if the Steelers can't beat the Browns and they if they can't beat the Browns on Sunday, what is it going to mean for Metcalf? If they somehow can't make the playoffs with DK Metcalf not being available, and think about the commentary Aaron Rodgers had during the offseason. Like a big reason why he signed with Pittsburgh was because they brought in DK Metcalf, and Metcalf has been kind of an important piece to the puzzle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, what does that mean, and what Steelers receivers are actually going to be feasible options this week for fantasy owners?
Who cares? They're
Honestly,
playing the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. We don't need DK Metcalf to beat the Browns. Let's be honest.
You're playing the Browns.
They're playing the Browns. The Browns have already given up on this season, and the only thing that the Browns realistically are playing for is because most of them won't even be on the team next year. Myles Garrett is playing for the sack record. That's the only thing he cares about. He only cares about the sack record. That's why he's playing. And then also, I think that the Steelers can still win even without DK, because if the Ravens lose, the Steelers are automatically in the division, win the division.
Right.
So we can adjust our game plan no matter how many we play, because the Ravens lose the Packers on Saturday, then the Steelers already won the division. We don't need to have much planned. And we could lose out. We could rest players because we already have a division. At that point, we have the division. Baltimore can't clinch it. So,
and also you have your seed locked up because in theory, because technically the other 6 teams, so you have 6 teams in the AFC that could potentially be the number 1 seed, including the Houston Texans. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Steve Kornacki's analysis of that on the NBC pregame show. Like, it's like you got the Bills, the Patriots, the Jaguars, you got the Chargers, you got the Bills, who could be the number 1 seed, and if everyone has 5 losses in the AFC, potentially the Houston Texans as well. So
the AFC is wide open this year. Let's be honest here, it's wide open.
Now that the Chiefs are out, it's wide open.
Thank God. Exactly.
Oh,
the Chiefs aren't in, which is great, and I actually will be doing something. I'm actually going to give you guys a little spoiler. For the first time since 2017, the Denver Broncos locking in against the Steelers will be my Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week. I have not done that. Again, Kansas City Chiefs have never been a lock since that time period in pain and gain history. So it'll be the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era that the Chiefs will be a lock of the Century of the Week to lose against. Their other team will be winning.
I mean,
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
I mean, who are the Chiefs starting this week at QB?
So the starter is going to be Chris Oladokun.
The guy from the UFL.
The South Dakota State's Chris Oladokun is going to be the starter.
South Dakota State.
Yep.
South Dakota State.
The guy from the
So
UFL.
he will be the starter. Yep, the UFL. And then also the backup will be Shane Buccelli. And they also have there's an emergency quarterback.
Wait,
they also have an emergency quarterback. No, it's not going to be Shane Falco. The back of the third stringer emergency quarterback would be Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
I am not joking. The emergency backup would be Hollywood Brown.
I thought it was Travis Kelce.
No. Travis Kelce's too old. and he's about to retire. It's gonna be Hollywood Brown because Hollywood Brown
he's
actually
about
had
to get married too.
I think he did throw a touchdown pass a couple years back, if not mistaken. Travis Kelce.
Yes, he did. He did, but that was like a 1 yard TD pass in the end zone. He can't throw down the field. Hollywood Brown can actually throw down the field.
Yeah. I mean, throwing it back to the days of Antoine Randall throwing a touchdown pass to Heinz Ward in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, trust me, I remember that.
Yeah,
one of the first Super Bowls I ever watched.
Flag.
Trust me, flag. Trust me, that Super Bowl. So it was not the best Super Bowl, but hey, my team won, so I'm happy with it.
Well,
But so pretty much my point is also here's my problem. Why, if DK said that fan last year during the preseason, he was tackled by that same fan last year. Why didn't the NFL do something about it? If you already knew this fan was a problem, if you had a fan, the exact same fan. If you knew this fan was a problem ahead of time, why do you allow him to have those kind of seats? Why don't you just bar him from that sideline? You can't do. You gotta change the things up. They gotta change the thing. So you gotta do some screening with your NFL fans. They gotta do something because this fan was a problem last year, and now he's having the same thing happen this year.
Right.
So they gotta fix things up about it.
And somehow Zach Campbell looks like a good guy thanks to it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Steelers and Browns. This will be a very, very interesting matchup, and of course, we'll give you our picks later on.
Yeah,
we'll give it tomorrow. You guys will hear my thoughts about it tomorrow because I'll go full in depth with it.
Yeah.
Yep, and you can take a look. Get Pain and Game Pick'ems will be tomorrow night, a Christmas Eve special with Tiny Tim, with Alex and Lucas. So it'll be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Apizzle 90 channel. So definitely, if you're looking for some Christmas Eve entertainment, so you got the three guys right there. So
that's right.
I know people will be looking forward to seeing that. A lot of games with big playoff implications coming up in week 17. So we'll definitely be in tune to that. So I'm gonna set the two. Alex, Lucas, I'll set the two of you loose. So good luck on your championship matchup this week. And
absolutely.
And may the best team win. So
thank you. I cannot wait for it.
All right.
Let's go.
I will catch you guys tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. See you guys tomorrow, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Take it easy and have a good one.
All right.
Much love and cheers.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers and Christmas wishes to you. So there they go. Alex and Lucas fighting for our league championship this week. It's going to be very, very. What's that? Well, the three wise men of fantasy football.
Yeah, it's we're all back together again. I mean the time of this is pretty sus to that, but. I mean, we were talking about the Steelers and their hodgepodge of problems. So and you also saw we also were going to touch on the comments of that David Montgomery left about potentially being being potentially an ex-NFL player next year. That'll be big for running back depth charts. So you have that. Oh, yeah. And then there was another big story that broke this week about the Chiefs moving out of Kansas City, Missouri, and moving to the other side of the river into the state of Kansas. So Missouri, so the state of Missouri has lost will have lost its two NFL franchises in a span of 15 to 20 years. First the Rams moving from St. Louis back to LA, and then the Chiefs moving from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas in after the 2030 season when the lease is up at Arrowhead.
I will say I lived in Missouri for a little while, and I did get to see well, the place was closed, so I couldn't actually get inside Arrowhead Stadium. But I guess I got into one of the bars over at Coffin Stadium, and this is in the when was this? This was in the early summertime. So it was going to be way before the Chiefs had their training, and I think the Royals were on the road at the time. So it's going to be interesting to see the plans and the artwork of what the new stadiums are going to be like when they move to Kansas. It's going to be interesting.
What's also going to be interesting is going to be the battle between the billionaires and the taxpayers on who's going to pay for this damn operation.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah.
We were talking about that. Other key things that or were in your mind this past week around the NFL. That game Thursday night between the Rams and the Seahawks. I mean,
Oh
good
my
God.
goodness.
What
Oh
what an
yes.
what an incredible game that was! I mean, the game of the year so far, in my opinion, that the Rams had nearly 600 yards of offense in that game. Puka Nacua had a career high 225 yards receiving, his career day with 2 touchdowns as well. So only for the Seahawks to mount an amazing comeback that they were down by 16 points in the fourth
Wow.
quarter,
Yeah.
and to defeat the Rams. I mean, and which really shows to show you that how well constructed Seattle is. I mean, and that race for the 1 seed in the NFC with the Rams, the 49ers. If the 49ers win out, they're the 1 seed. If Seattle wins out, they're the 1 seed, and the Rams don't control their own destiny for either seed. So. It is crazy to think where of how the balanced power of the NFC is in that NFC West division with the Seahawks being on the top of the food chain of the NFC. So
Totally not expect that to happen at all. I mean, I had the Cardinals making the playoffs, but they were a dumpster fire this season.
I was pretty confident that the Cardinals would take a step forward, but I think the Cardinals are gonna hire a new head coach this offseason. So we have that, and then speaking of which, how about what Chris Olave has been doing? We were talking about the flip about me being that terrible trade. But on the flip side, though, 10 catches, 148 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Olave. So
yeah, that was good for him. But that does the team no good. They're already eliminated.
And most of his good production has come when Tyler Shuck took over as the quarterback. So. So I think there's a huge amount of upside here when it comes to Chris Olave when it comes to next year. So
yeah, I don't know. Could Shuck be a good candidate for offensive rookie of the year now, or too few games, or is there not enough games though?
I mean, it is such a weird season for offensive rookie of the year. I mean, before Jackson Dart got hurt, he was on the fast track to being offensive rookie of the year. But might have had a competition with Cam Scatterboo, but I'm gonna pull up the DraftKings odds for offensive rookie of the year.
I initially projected it was gonna be Genty, but that's not happening.
Is it on DraftKings? So I'm gonna give you the top 5. Okay, so Tenor McMillan minus 280, so he's the odds-on favorite. Tyler Shuck plus he is second at plus 350. Emeka Ibuka plus 1400. Trevion Henderson plus 1700, and Jackson Dart plus 2200. So.
Yeah, out of those, I'd be probably leaning towards maybe McMillan getting it. I'm not. That's a really tough call, though.
Yeah, it is probably going to wind up being Tedavor McMillan, especially if the Panthers wind up making the playoffs and winning the division. after the victory against the gutless Buccaneers. But Trevor McClelland is 76 receiving yards away from 1,000 receiving yards for the season. So and he has 112 targets this year. Which
Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew he was gonna be their leading receiver this season. Because the Panthers pretty much had nothing in the receiving role of it. So he is someone that you're gonna be looking at. So and Tim McClelland is tied with Cortland Sutton for 15th in targets with 112.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
So it looks like Ted McClelland will definitely be a serviceable receiver for the Panthers in years to come.
Yeah, McClelland was easily the best receiver. He was the best receiver in this year's draft class. And it was clear that he had a perfect placement for him when he was drafted by the Panthers. I felt like that was going to be a lot logical placement the whole time. Of course, he went to the University of Arizona, so
yep. So yep. I what other news is there? Let's see here. Let me check ESPN and see if there's any interesting news that we could come up with here.
And also, speaking of the Steelers, so not only is the DK Metcalf suspended, one of their other receivers, Calvin Austin, has a hamstring injury and was not at practice on Tuesday. So for the time being, when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're kind of looking at a familiar face as being the number one wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, hooked on a Thielen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Adam Thielen is currently listed as the number one wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? If Calvin Austin can't play.
And I guess that would put MVS as the wide receiver 2, I guess.
And not that far behind, but MVS, who caught a touchdown for the Steelers against Miami last week, and then Adam Thielen.
Yeah. Okay. So Adam Thielen back at wide receiver 1, of course, probably not the way he expected to be there, but hopefully Austin's injury isn't going to be too serious, and of course with the loss of Metcalf for the rest of the regular season, I might play it. But of course, as Lucas told us, and basically Pittsburgh has to win and Baltimore has to lose for Baltimore to.
It's not the Steelers. If the Steelers lose and the Ravens win this week, the two teams will play for the AFC North crown next week in Pittsburgh in 2 weeks in Pittsburgh, and it will probably be the Sunday night game that week. So, and there's actually there's actually some really good candidates for Sunday night for that week 18, because you're thinking Seattle, San Francisco, that week could be a possibility. Maybe Jackson, maybe Indianapolis and Houston. If it's if the Colts somehow beat the Jags and the Texans lose, that could be an interesting candidate with a potential game to be the 7th seed in the AFC. So a lot is at stake this week. So why don't we start previewing, looking ahead towards this week here? Tim, I know I understand you had some starts and sits this week. in fantasy?
Yes, I do here. Actually, couldn't really get some good reads on any starts or sits as far as the tight ends are concerned. But I do have starts and sits. So, so my start for this week is Tyler Shook from the New Orleans Saints going up against the Titans. I read he has scored at least 17 fantasy points in the last four consecutive games, so that's pretty good for him. Meanwhile, the Titans are allowing the eighth most fantasy points per game against quarterbacks, and so Tennessee, they did have that good game against the Chiefs, but I don't quite expect that to last year against the Saints with the way that Tyler Shook has been playing since he got the starting position in New Orleans. My quarterback sit this week. I think Flynn and I talked about this earlier. Justin Herbert from the Chargers. He did have a very good game against my Cowboys last week, but he's going up against the top defense in the NFL. They have allowed the fewest fantasy points per game against quarterbacks. So it looks like the load of the offense will probably have to go on the shoulders of Omari and Hampton. So so if you got Herbert on your team, you might as well sit him or just kick him off of there because they're going to give him a hard time this week. For my running backs, I'd like to start. We'll start Michael Carter of the Arizona Cardinals. He's going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Bengals defense, especially the run defense, is very poor. They have allowed almost 1,925 rushing yards this season. So Michael Carter should move through that very weak defensive line of the Bengals, no problem. Meanwhile, my running back sit for this week, Isaiah Pacheco from the Kansas City Chiefs. He last week against the Titans in that loss to the Titans, he only had 6 receptions for 41 yards, and that's basically most of his workload was by receiving the ball instead of running with it. And Denver has allowed a league load 42 receptions against opposing running backs this year. So if you got Pacheco, I'd think twice about him. And for my wide receivers, my starting wide receiver, well, hell, all through this season, you could have started any wide receiver against the Dallas Cowboys defense. In this case, I'm starting Deebo Samuel from the Commanders. Of course, it's pretty obvious that the Dallas defensive secondary has been pretty terrible. They've allowed a league high 2,614 yards against receivers and 26 touchdowns, no less. Secondary is just terrible. They leave opposing receivers as open as a 7-Eleven, and they make C and D rated quarterbacks look more like A and B rated quarterbacks. So if you got Deebo Samuel, I'd plug him in. For my wide receiver sit, have to go with Khalil Shakir of the Buffalo Bills. In the last 3 games, he's only had like 3 receptions for a total of 30 yards, give or take a couple of yards in there. And of course, going up against the Eagles, who have allowed just 6 receiving touchdowns against receivers this year. So I guess the Eagles secondary know how to cover those opposing wide receivers. So I would go ahead and sit Khalil Shakir this week. And those are my starts on sits.
Yeah, and also not to mention that the Eagles will be getting key players back this week in Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter because both are expected to be back in the fold this week. So that's I don't. It's Natale. Did you have any picks for starts and sits this week or?
No, I completely forgot. I had a very busy week, so.
All right then.
That's right.
On to me. So I'm gonna give you some of my picks for the positions in fantasy this week. So my fantasies. Let's start with the quarterbacks. My start of the week is I'm gonna be for so what should I call it? For the quarterbacks, I'm going to be looking at Matthew Stafford of the Rams as my start of the week, because Stafford is playing at an MVP caliber level. He is. I think you can argue he's in the conversation for league MVP. I think he's the favorite to be the league MVP, and he has been playing extraordinarily well throughout the course of the second half. That's since the bye week, he's had. And despite not having anything going, being a pocket passer, he is. I mean, actually, really, in his last, in his last 11 games, he has registered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games of 20 or more points. And he's going up against the Falcons defense that has some matchup issues with Puka Nacua, and Puka Nacua is might have another big game because of the injury to Devontae Adams that he should be expected to be kept out for that. In terms of quarterbacks I would sit this week, my sit of the week is going to be C.J. Stroud of the Houston Texans, because both C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert qualify for this, but really. Because both defenses are really strong. It's going to be a great defensive game between those quarterbacks, and especially Justin Herbert, because he's been a pedestrian quarterback in terms of fantasy most of the year because of how Greg Roman calls his offense, but Justin Herbert is going up against the league's #1 scoring defense and the league's #1 total defense in the Houston Texans, and then C.J. Stroud's got a tough matchup as well again with the Chargers, who have been so good at covering quarterbacks for the vast majority of the year. And speaking of sleepers, I would not sleep on Jackson Dart. He's got a good matchup against the Raiders. I also would not sit on Baker Mayfield as well, because he's facing the Dolphins defense that just gave up 45 points to the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. In terms of running backs, my start is Ashton Genty for the Raiders, because now that Geno Smith is back, he's been let loose again, and the Giants have had a historically poor run defense, so it's a perfect storm for Ashton Genty to get at least 20 points in all settings on Sunday. My sleeper of the week, I'm gonna go with I would not sleep on DeAndre Swift at all against the Bears, because the 49ers the 49ers success has really been about their offense with how unbelievably efficient they've been, because they haven't had a punt since the end of November. That they've gone 2 straight games without having to punt in their wins against Tennessee and Indianapolis, but the run defense is a point of concern for the 49ers, and I think DeAndre Swift, if given the opportunity here, and DeAndre Swift had a good game a couple weeks ago against Cleveland, where he had a couple of rushing touchdowns, but he should be on track to get 15 rushing attempts for the Bears on Sunday in a game they need to win if they want that outside to keep that outside shot at being the #1 seed of the NFC on tap for you there. And then my sit of the is going to be Rico Dowdle of the Carolina Panthers, because he's got a tough matchup going up against Seattle. I don't think he's worth starting because the Seahawks have been so good against the run all year. And it was a great story when he was unleashed earlier in the season. He had three weeks where he finished top 2 in fantasy. So, but since the return of Chuba Hubbard, his workload has been cut down substantially, and it's going to be awfully hard to run on the Seahawks defense that revolves from physicality there. In terms of wide receivers, my start of the week is actually going to be A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles because I think I feel like both the Eagles and the Bills can score 27 to 30 points, and if it's going to be a high scoring game, and A.J. Brown has had four of his last 5 weeks have been really good. In fantasy, including a 12 target, 9 catch game. All he needed was about 3 or 4 more targets a week, and that's a good snapshot on, as to how good he can be. So I love his chance his matchup this week against the Bills. So who secondary defense has been a little shaky this year. In terms of a sleeper pick, I would not sleep on I would not sleep on Stephon Diggs because he's got a faithful matchup against the Jets coming up on Sunday, so I would definitely not sleep on him. And then my sit of the week is going to be Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. So we were talking about we're talking about this either off air or at this in our segment with Lucas and Alex. But Max Brosmer is starting for the Vikings, and Justin Jefferson has been such an underwhelming receiver. And I don't know if you realize this guys. Now I'll turn your mics back on for this. Justin Jefferson has only had one game this year where he scored 20 or more points in PPR. One game.
Oh wow.
That was in week 4 in Ireland against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
Wow.
he has not played a game in the United States of America in 2025 in which he scored 20 more fantasy points in the season. And so he only has one receiving touchdown since week 1.
That is hard to believe.
And I mean, it was crazy. Crazy. I did not believe in the Justin Jefferson hype this season. He was one of the players I was going to avoid. With my round 1 pick. That even if I had the last pick and he was available at 12, I would not have taken him. And you're seeing why in a disastrous year for Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings. So. And then quickly before we get into the picks, my tight end starts of the week are Harold Fannin Jr. and Kyle Pitts. I would not sleep on Brenton Strange for the Jaguars in a matchup against the Colts, and then I would sit Travis Kelce because of what Lucas mentioned earlier about the Chiefs quarterback position, and the Chiefs seem to have completely quit on the 2025 season. So. Those are my starts and sits for a huge championship week across all areas in fantasy. So we have that.
Yep. So for all you guys in your championship matchups, hopefully those tips did a little something to help you out there. Let's see here. Oh, Wally G. I wanted to highlight this over here. I guess Tim's betting on the Cowboys this holiday season. Well, I mean, I guess we can kind of look at their remaining schedule, but anything can happen. Okay, we have this question here.
So Jameson Williams or Trevor McMillan, for one of his leagues. So basically, which one to start between the two of them? So he's got Jameson Williams, the Lions against the Vikings, or Trevor McMillan against Seattle. I would start Jameson Williams over Trevor McMillan. And then for the others, he has to pick 3 of the following receivers: Michael Wilson, Nico Collins, Trevor McMillan, A.J. Brown, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Mike Evans.
Oh, that's pretty stacked.
He's got to start 3. He can only start 3 of them because he's going to put one of them in his flex option. So I mentioned start A.J. Brown. Mike Evans, I would actually consider starting I would consider starting as well. And then Nico's got a tough matchup. Ted's got a tough matchup. So I would go Michael Wilson because
Michael Wilson, yep.
So I among those three, I would start Michael Wilson, AJ Brown, and Mike Evans. Now I would put AJ Brown in my flex because Michael Wilson and Mike Evans are start at 1:00, and then you can use your flex if for some reason something happens. You could have your flex open for later on. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a pretty stacked lineup right there. I would definitely agree with those picks for the three that you go for. Guys, fighting for the championship has to split the pot. Do I do it or go for all?
You know, that depends on your roster. I think we would need to kind of know who your players are before we can give you an answer on that.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to let us know what players you have and maybe what players your opponent has. So just let us know, and maybe we can make a better judgment.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with Wally's statement here. Vikings are having offensive identity issues.
Yeah, I mean, and now the Vikings are gonna. They're gonna have a very important season next year with that. So, why don't we just get to the spreads and the picks for a week? But before we do that, I have I don't know if you guys have one too. I have a trivia question for you. So
Yes.
I completely forgot to come up with one. Yeah, I've been so busy. I've been having early shifts lately, but I forgot to mention I have to get off at like 9:15. So.
All right. So my trivia question is which two quarterbacks are tied for the league lead for most passing yards per attempt? Which two quarterbacks are tied for the league lead when mounted to the nearest 10th in yards per attempt? So that's my question for the 2025 season. So
2025 season. Two quarterbacks tied for most yards per attempt. Very, very interesting there. Yeah. Fantasy points per attempt. So you gotta be.
Yeah. I might have a couple of blank names in mind.
I think I got a couple too.
Yeah. Tim, do you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. It kind of has something to do with what happened this past week. Mike Tomlin just guaranteed his 19th straight season with a winning record, where he doesn't fall below 500. That actually ties him with Bill Belichick for second place. It's the second place for the longest streak of winning seasons at 19. That's second place. Which head coach leads that list? Another question here. Half point per reception. Purdy, Michael Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, Tyler Warren, Travis Etienne, Kaimi Fairbairn, Seahawks, and Seattle defense.
Yeah, and he's facing off against a team with Jalen Hurts, Chris Olave, Drake London, Ashton Genty, Amari Hampton, Harold Fannin Jr., George Kittle, or George Kittle or Christian Watson in the flex. It's the kicker Little, and the Lions defense. So
this is a tough call of whose roster looks stronger. This one's really tough. Well, let's see. Quarterback side, I'm trying to break down logically here. I think quarterback side, I would give Hurts the advantage. Let's see. Running back advantage, I'm going with You, the poster. Let's see. Wide
yeah,
receivers.
So I definitely think the bottom team has an advantage. Especially matchup advantage. Because Ashton Genty against the Giants, who I mentioned,
Yeah.
Chris Olave against Tennessee, Jalen Hurts against an inconsistent Bills defense. Drake London probably will have a lot of. If the game script is what I think is going to be, he's going to have a lot of targets. Harold Fannin has the advantage, I think, over Tyler Warren. And then he's got George Kittle, Christian Watson in the flex.
George Kittle's hurt. Keep that in mind, too. George Kittle, I think, is injured.
Yeah, so Watson. So. And the Lions are going up against Max Brosman. So I think the bottom team has a big advantage in terms of.
Yeah. So with this being said, I think our answer is split the pot.
Yeah. Split the pot, bro. And guess who else has a trivia question?
Oh, Dash.
Our favorite Bengals fan. Oh my goodness. I think a 5-year-old could even answer this one. Which affair has the most sacks of all time?
And so, I think if it's what I think it is, the guy in question would have already been retired for 15 years by the time this guy was born.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. This. I think that's a pretty easy question there. So
yeah. It should be an easy question.
Be easy.
I mean, because you never know where that's going to go. So we spent a lot of time on things this year, this week. So let's get right into some quick picks for week 17 in the NFL. So
yeah, let's go ahead and do it right now. Starting with a triple header on Christmas Day, and the first game just happens to be my game. Old rivalry renewed. The Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders from Northwest Stadium. Dallas is 7-point favorites in this game. And, well, the Commanders are going to be starting a third-string quarterback. Can't remember his name, though.
It's Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
The ultimate journeyman quarterback, because Josh Johnson's played with nearly half of the teams in the NFL, or he's been mastered by nearly half of the teams in the NFL. So he's gonna try and go for it again. So,
well, since this is my game, I'm gonna let you guys give your picks first.
So I mean, is it crazy? I mean, the NFL schedule makers did not have 4 of the 6 teams playing on Christmas to already be eliminated on their bingo cards. But this is a game between two bad defenses. But one team's got an extra quarterback, the other doesn't. Cowboys 31-13 over the Commanders.
Yeah, this one was kind of a tough one to pick, honestly, for me, because both of these teams had pretty bad season, to say the least. I'm going with the team, but that's probably just slightly better. I'm going to take the Cowboys to win this one, but I'm going to take the Commanders with the points. I'll go 24-20.
Yeah, I'm going to slightly give the points to the Commanders here. Like I said, Josh Johnson, third stringers for the Commanders, but as I said earlier, Cowboys secondary has been pretty much making C and D rated quarterbacks look more like A and B rated quarterbacks. So who knows? Maybe Josh Johnson could have a field day here. I think they said that Javonte Williams is questionable, but I'm sure he'll be good to go. I hope he does, because he's been really picking up that run game for the Cowboys that we've been looking for a long, long time. So I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Commanders by a score of 27-21. I'm just giving a slight points edge to the Commanders, but I'll give the victory to the Cowboys.
And if Javonte Williams somehow doesn't go, look for Malik Davis to take the load at running back.
And he has been doing some pretty good scoring as of late for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So he could be a very valuable option right there. And now we're going to go to the afternoon game. Actually, the first 2 games are both going to be on Netflix. So y'all make sure to make a note of that as we talk about the second game on Christmas Day. The Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, an NFC North showdown. And the Lions come in at 7.5-point favorites. Now go ahead.
I think this is basically a must-win game for the Lions. If I'm not mistaken, the only way that they make the playoffs is if they win out and the Packers lose out. But I mean, I could definitely see the Lions winning this game, but it's not going to matter because I think that they're done. Hate to say this, but I think Dan Campbell could potentially be on the hot seat next season with this performance. Yeah, this Lions team was rough to say the least. But the Vikings are a lot worse. JJ McCarthy is out, so they're going to go to another. I think some third stringer. I forget his name, but Lions are going to win this one pretty convincingly, huh?
Max Brosmer is the quarterback.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, the Lions are going to win this one. They'll keep their playoff hopes alive, but just for a few more hours. Lions are limited at the end of the week. At the end of this game, shortly after, so 28-18.
So I'm gonna grab the points with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the Lions are gonna win, but Brian Flores' defense against Jared Goff, who seemingly has had some issues dealing with the pressure and the different packages, blitz packages that Terrell Austin was dialing up last week. That's gonna be an issue there. But I'm gonna pick the Lions to win 20-13.
And I believe I'm going to grab the points with the Vikings as well, pretty much for the same reasons that Flynn made right there. And I agree with Natale. Campbell could be on the hot seat going into next year. Detroit has been kind of slipping a little bit back every week, though. But like you said, Minnesota is not that good of enough team. So I'm going to take the Lions by a score of 28-23. Lions with the win, Vikings with the points. And then we go to this game right here. The night game on Prime Video. Denver Broncos against Kansas City Chiefs. And Denver is picked by 13.5. I think that kind of makes sense. I mean,
Oh yeah.
How you think the Chiefs are going to come back after that blowout loss against Tennessee? Tennessee. I mean, could you believe that? So I am going to take this here. I was going to say 30. Give me 38 to. Say 38-24.
Oof.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think the Broncos are going to be coming in mad after they dropped last week to Jacksonville. So give me the Broncos convincingly 38-24 over those Chiefs.
And what do you say, Flynn?
I mean, I was thinking about grabbing the Chiefs with the points, but yeah, this is a get right game for Denver. I think they're going to smoke Kansas City. I mean the Chiefs to me have completely quit on football for the season. So it's and this is a matchup that's been so one sided this whole way. But the Broncos are just are actually fielding a competitive team here. So I'm gonna go Broncos winning 23-6 over Kansas City.
Ooh,
yeah, this game screams lock of the week all over it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it for something else. This game is a little too obvious to say. But yeah, no matter who the Chiefs quarterback is at this point, they're pretty much cooked. I'm going to take the Broncos to win this one convincingly, 32-16.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we're pretty much all in agreement with Denver. Now we go to a couple of games that's on the Saturday slate. The Houston Texans go into SoFi Stadium against the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Chargers are 1.5-point favorites at home.
Ooh. Yeah, this
I guess-
one. I was gonna say, yeah, this one's the toughest game this was the toughest game on the schedule for me to decide. I was kind of going back and forth on this one, but this was kind of those like when in doubts, you choose the home team. Yeah, both of these teams are fighting for like playoff spots, playoff seeds, things of that nature. This was a true coin flip, but I'm going to take the Chargers to win this one. I'll go 26-23.
I'm taking the Houston Texans to win. I think the Texans. I mean, which is why I should have emphasized Herbert more than Stroud when I did my sit-in picks. But the Chargers the last 3 weeks have had the benefit of playing an Eagles defensive line without Jalen Carter, a Chiefs defensive line with injuries, and a Cowboys defensive line without injuries. But now they have to deal with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson against their poor tackle play. So yeah, I think the Texans are going to go into LA, deal the Chargers a big blow to their seeding in terms of the seeding matchup. I'm going to take the Texans to win, but by a score of 17 to 13.
I'm actually thinking the same thing. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Texans on this, basically because of their top defense, especially against quarterbacks. I think Justin Herbert may have a good day here, but in the long run, I'm going to give it to the Texans here. Get the Texans to win and cover by a score of 27-20. And now we got the Saturday night special on Peacock. By the way, that Texans Chargers game, that's going to be on the NFL Network. This one, the Baltimore Ravens and Green Bay Packers, that's on Peacock on Saturday night.
Peacock?
Yeah, Peacock. Yeah. So I guess NBC will probably be having something else instead. Oh well.
Yes, so I mean, although the NBC, the local markets, the NBC affiliates in Baltimore and Green Bay will carry the game in their region.
Okay. Anyway, the Packers are at home, 3-point favorites. We're talking about two teams that are usually very, very tough, but here lately, the Ravens have been kind of slipping off of the pedestal of the AFC South, or the AFC North, I mean. And then you got the Packers who are trying to get a good playoff spot, get some good seedings here. But, as I said, when Green Bay plays at home, it's very difficult to defeat them. Especially when that tundra is so frozen. I don't know if it's going to be frozen this week, but I'm going to take those Packers at home. I'm going to get the Packers to win and cover. Give me the Packers by a score of 28. Let's call it 28. Give me 28-23. Baltimore are going down again. So that's what I got.
Yeah. Packers pretty much, they control their own destiny here. It's simply put, win, and they are in. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, he might not be able to play. Tyler Huntley has been pretty solid in filling in for him. He had a somewhat of a decent game, but I think the Ravens are going to make this interesting for a while, whether or not Jackson plays. On the other side, I think Josh Jacobs, might be dealing with an injury. No, their receiving core is a little all over the place, but the Packers, I think, are the better team here. They're going to win this game to not only clinch a playoff spot, but also eliminate the Detroit Lions from playoff contention. Give me Green Bay to win this one, 30-24.
Yeah, I mean, crazy that they can eliminate teams from different conferences in one stone if it goes the way you believe it's going to. Now, this game was actually the toughest game of the week for me to pick because I think the way Green Bay lost that game, I mean, that they had it. They were up by 10 points with 2 minutes left. So with the chance to really seal the deal of the NFC North and beat the hated Bears twice. But then you had that, you had the football in overtime. They almost had a turnover, which it wasn't. Then it led to a ridiculous throw from Caleb to DJ for that winning touchdown. The question is, are the Packers going to recover? So I'm going to pick the Ravens, assuming Lamar Jackson plays. Which I think that's going to be the case here. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win on the road, winning it. I think it's going to be a defensive slugfest. So I'm going to go Ravens 16-13, and despite that, with that being the lowest score I have for the week, it is also by definition the garbage game of the week.
Ooh, so he's got the Lions staying alive for one more week at least.
Yeah.
Wow. Lions staying alive with BGs. Well, anyway, those are the Thursday and Saturday games. Now we go to the Sunday games. And we're going to start with a very interesting matchup. Seattle going all the way to the East Coast, taking on the Panthers, and Seattle comes in at 7-point favorites. Let's see here. Carolina's been doing okay, but I mean, that Seattle comeback from last Thursday, I mean, that Rams Seahawks game. Yeah, that was very, very entertaining, very, very intense. But that's what you get when you got two great teams in the NFC West going at it. But now you got got going to Carolina. Let's see here, Seattle by 7. Yeah, I think that Seattle defense may do a little something to those Panthers here. I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle for the win and the points. I'm going to call it, let's say 30-20. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is actually my point spread game of the week. The Panthers have been a very streaky team lately. Yeah, they actually have a legitimate shot of actually winning their division, which is really surprising. Yeah, they have a fantastic rookie in McMillan. I mean, their defense has been playing surprisingly decent. Yeah, the Seahawks look great. I mean, I think they're going to win this game, but I'm going to take the Panthers with the points, actually. So I'm going to go actually 27-21. I'm going to take the Seattle to win, but Panthers with the points.
I mean, look, I think Seattle's going to destroy Carolina. I think the Seahawks. There's an argument to made. I think the Seahawks have the best roster in the NFL. I think when you look at the energy that they bring, the special teams playing a huge role in the win against the Rams last week. So I mean, the Seahawks could beat you on offense, defense, and special teams. And give Carolina credit for coming back to beat the Bucs, but I don't think the Panthers are as good as the record indicates. But give me the Seahawks to win by a score of 27-17 over Carolina.
All right. Now we go to Cincinnati, where the Bengals are 7-point favorites over the visiting Arizona Cardinals here, and I'll take Cincinnati home. Let's see. But I say the final score is 26. I was like 26-19. I'm taking Bengals over the Cardinals, and that is exactly 7 points. So I guess in this case, I'll take the Bengals to win. I'll take the Cardinals to cover that. They'll just get right up on there.
Yeah, this game is going to be kind of a messy one, to say the least. Both of these teams have had their struggles this past season. Yeah, both of these teams are so bad. I'm just going to go a very low scoring affair here. I'm going to actually grab the points here with Arizona. I'm going to take the Bengals to win this one in a very ugly game. I'm just going to simply go 20-17, making this my garbage game of the week.
I'm thinking the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of the over/under. I think this game has 38-28 Cincinnati written all over it. I mean, big game from everybody, big game from Burrow, big game from Chase. These are two of the worst defenses in the NFL. And Trey McBride might have 100 yards receiving, 150 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns in this one. That's how bad Cincinnati's pass defense has been against tight ends. Michael Wilson might have 10 catches in this game as well. But Cincinnati's got the quarterback advantage, and they'll continue to hurt their draft positioning, give the Cincinnati Bengals to win and cover. Now, I'm going to give the two of you make sure the two of you start this next game, because regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers, I am 1-14 against the spread picking Steelers games this year. So I'm gonna let the two of you pick this game first. The Steelers are 3-point road favorites against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Who do you guys got?
All right, this will be my last pick on air before I go, but I'll send the rest of the picks in this little chat over here. But as far as this game goes, this one was actually kind of easy for me. Yeah, the Browns are pretty much terrible here. Let's see. I mean, the Steelers are going to be without about DK Metcalf, but I think they're going to be just fine. They have one of the best defenses in the league. The Browns are going to be, I think, likely going to be without Quashawn Jenkins, so their running back core is pretty much broken right out of the gate. They don't have many reliable options either for wide receivers. So this one was really an easy one for me. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this one. Not only am I taking them to win this one, they're my lock of the week. Give me Pittsburgh to win 32-10.
1-14
against the spread, picking Steelers
games. Well, I'm starting to think this might be one where you could actually catch a break here. I mean, Cleveland, they're terrible. Pittsburgh's doing right. They had that win last week. I'm taking Pittsburgh to win and cover by a score of 27-20.
Congratulations on the win, guys. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns to win the game. Look,
goodness.
This remember, Baltimore looms next week. That'll be big if Baltimore beats Green Bay, which I think they will do. This is the classic Mike Tomlin trap game. And I think it's gonna work. And I think it's gonna work both ways. So DK Metcalf is suspended. that Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdez-Scantling are your best receivers, and then Myles Garrett potentially trying to go for the sack record against the team he hates the most. And I'm not in agreement with how Shore Sanders has played, but I think he can instill a sense of hope, which I think would be a false sense of hope in this one. So give me the Cleveland Browns to win a real life football game against a division rival. The Steelers have had trouble winning in Cleveland in recent years, and I think the Browns can find a way to shock the Steelers. I think they'll win 19-16.
Whoa.
So congratulations on the win, guys. What could possibly go wrong with that pick?
Well, any given Sunday, they say.
Yep.
On to Indianapolis. The Colts are 6.5-point favorites at home. No, actually, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars that are visiting Indianapolis, taking in the 6.5-point advantage. And I gotta tell you, these Jaguars have been very, very impressive. Yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, what was it? 4 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. I mean, who else? I can't remember. Now that could have been a good trivia question because the one I asked you guys is probably easy, but that one would have been interesting. 4 touchdowns in each of 2 previous games. Very impressive with him. Jacksonville's getting their way up there. Indianapolis is kind of slipping and falling. Old man Rivers. Kind of like what Clubber Lang said to Rocky in the rematch. He should have never come back. But I guess they were desperate, so I guess they were desperate enough to get a man who hasn't been in the league for about, 5 years or so? But that's not going to change things here. I am going to take the Jaguars to win convincingly. Well, not I wouldn't say convincingly, but I say they'll cover the spread. I'll take Jacksonville over Indianapolis 31-24. Okay, and Natale.
Yep,
So
I just sent my final predictions in the little chat there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of curious to know what the answers to the trivia questions were though before I leave.
Oh yeah, let's do that. So what were your answers to my trivia question? The 2 quarterbacks that are tied to the league with highest yards per attempt.
Yeah, I mean the first one feels too obvious, but one of my answers is Josh Allen, and then I think my other answer is going to be Drake May.
Okay.
Josh Allen, I think is a little too obvious.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Drake May and Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but my alternate guess if I was wrong on one of them would have been Bo Nix.
So it's well, I'll tell you this: both of you got Drake May right.
Ah.
So the other answer I was looking for is Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, really?
Sam Darnold,
Yeah.
of course.
Sam
Yeah,
Darnold
he's having a great year with those Seahawks. Okay. Very interesting question there. Now, of course, to my question, like I said, Mike Tomlin tied Bill Belichick for 19 straight winning seasons, which is they're tied for second all-time. Who holds the all-time record for the longest streak of consecutive winning seasons?
It's got to be Landry, right?
Yeah, I would say so. It has to be him because I was thinking if not him, then Vince Lombardi, but probably Tom Landry. I'm definitely in agreement with you there.
So you both say Tom Landry.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew that question was going to be way too easy.
Yeah.
It was easy.
2021 straight winning seasons. That goes from 1965 to 1985.
Nice.
So that's a pretty good stretch there.
Cool.
And of course, Dashy's question is the all-time record for most sacks, career sacks. Dashy, that has to be the Minister of Defense. That's who I'm saying. That would be Reggie White.
I think it's Bruce Smith.
Yeah, I think I'm with Flynn on this one. I believe Reggie White is second.
Because I know. So Dashy,
Yeah, it is Bruce Smith. He has 200. Reggie White is second with 198.
Oh, okay. So it was Bruce Smith.
Yeah. All right, I know, guys. I gotta head out. I got work in the morning, but yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, and we'll reconvene, I guess, sometime next week.
Yep.
Possibly. Do you guys want to reconvene since there's no more Thursday night games? You guys want to reconvene next Friday, or are we gonna stick to Tuesdays for now?
Let's go Friday.
Let's go for that for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think to speed things up, I'm gonna give you the rest of my picks for the week. So starting with Jacksonville, I have the Jags winning, but the Colts covering because I think it's a divisional game. The Colts desperate. I think the Jags are going to coming off the high of beating Denver, and Denver might play down a little bit to the competition. So I'm going to take Jacksonville to win, but Indy to cover. I have Tampa winning, but Miami covering. I have the Patriots over the Jets is my lock of the week. 27-6. Yeah, 27-6. New England is my lock of the week for that. I've got the Saints beating the Titans 24-16. I have the Raiders winning the Ultimate Tank Bowl by winning 27-20 over the Giants. I do have the Eagles going to Buffalo and beating the Bills. I've got the Chicago Bears going to San Francisco and beating the 49ers. And I've got the Rams beating the Falcons 31-14.
All righty then. Let's see what Natale said. He has Jaguars over Colts 32-21. Bucks over Dolphins 24-17. Patriots over Jets 32-16. Saints over Titans 24-21. Raiders over Giants 22-19. Eagles over Bills 38-31. 49ers over Bears 21-23. And Rams over the Falcons 32-26. Well, let's see here. I'm going to take I'm just like you. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win and Miami to cover just barely. 28-23 Bucks over Dolphins. New England Patriots over the Jets. That is going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to say it's going to be a 28-14 win. Let's call it my double-up game of the week. 28-14 Patriots over the Jets. I'm taking the Seahawks over the Panthers 30-20. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I am taking the Jets over the Giants. I'm going to call this a very low-scoring game here. I'm going to call it 20-16. Yeah, I can see Philadelphia going into Buffalo and taking down the Bills. I'm going to take Philadelphia by a score of, let's make it 30-23. 30-23. I'll take the Eagles over the Bills there. The Bears going into San Francisco against the Niners. I say the Niners will win and just barely cover the spread here. Give me 28-20. 28-24, I was going to say. 28-24, give me the Niners over the Bears. And the Monday night game, the Rams and the Falcons. This looks like a good 30-20 matchup. So give me the Rams over the Falcons by a score of 30-20. And I hope I haven't missed anything.
Nope, I don't think you missed anything.
Well, alrighty then. Well, I guess that'll do it for this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Once again, good luck to Alex and Lucas with their championship match this week. Of course, you'll be seeing them along with me tomorrow night. Pain Game Pick'em Show on the A 90 channel, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Also, don't forget, you can also remember you can listen and watch Hooked on Sports on your favorite podcasting platforms, as well as watching them on YouTube. So you got that. We will be back here Friday, next Friday, the second day of the year 2026, since I don't think there's any more Thursday night games.
The last Thursday night game of the season is this Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday on Christmas Day. So we're going to be moving to a new night, Friday night, but it'll still be the same time. We'll preview week 8, and we'll hopefully have a little conversation with our league champion. And of course, our commissioner, Natale, said he was going to make a speech for the champions. So, yeah. So, very exciting time. I love this time of year. So, I think I'm going to be spending Christmas with my friend, maybe with my family part of the day, with my friend the other part of the day. I don't know. But anyway, Mr. Flynn, Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to all of you out there. Hopefully you'll get what Santa got you. And remember, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink. Because we want y'all to join us a little more than a week from now on Friday, January 2nd for first show of 2026. Week 18, final week of the regular season for the NFL preview. And of course, our league champion will be crowned. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and put a bow on this nice present of Fantasy Football Fever. For John Natale, for John Flynn, my name is Tim McClelland. Thanks for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy the games, everyone. And as always, God bless you. And, of course,
a Happy New Year, too. Because this is the last FFF of 2025.
Well, of course, I just remembered that. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, God bless you, and as always, be a good sport. See ya.